What's up guys, it's Light Spiral here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review video of Delphoi, the Wind Undine. So right here you can see what mine's looking like. Don't have insane runes on it. I just made it yesterday. I just gave it whatever runes I had laying around, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So in this video I'm going to go over a couple things. First, I'll explain its skills. Second, I'll explain if she needs skill ups or not. Third, I'll go over how to rune. Fourth, I'll say where she's useful in. And then the last thing is I'll explain if she's worth a 6-star or not. So the first thing we're going to go over is the skills. The first skill has 3 potential skill ups, but they're all damage. And it attacks the enemy and it will speed debuff for 2 turns if you crit. So if you don't crit, this skill basically does nothing. And if you do crit, then you can land a speed debuff, which is pretty nice. The second skill goes down to 3 turns if it's maxed, but it attacks the enemy and makes their skills go on max cooldowns. And then the third and final skill starts at 5 turns, but it goes down to 4 turns when it's maxed, and it AoE cleanses, gives immunity for 2 turns, and heals by 20%. And then there's the leader skill, which is defense for wind by 40%. She awakens into making her skill better. She doesn't awaken into a stat, unfortunately. Does she need skill ups? The first skill does not need any skill ups. The second skill, it is preferable to get skill ups, but I wouldn't worry about it. So basically, if you're debating on skilling it up, the third skill really is good to have maxed. So I would recommend skilling up Delphoi until you've got the third skill maxed. And once you get the third skill maxed, don't worry about it anymore. So the next category is going to be how to rune. My rune build is not my recommended rune build. I just had these runes sitting around, and so it's what I went for. Depending on where you are in the game, you're going to want different runes. Violent and Swift are definitely the 2 best sets on her, depending on whether you have Violent. Well, Violent's basically the best set if you have it, but if you don't have Violent because you're new to the game, then Swift is definitely your next best option. As for the offsets, stuff like Will, Energy, Focus, Shield, Guard are all good. I'm on Blade, Will, Nemesis. I don't think Nemesis is very good. Blade is okay, so you can get more speed debuffs, and I do like Will, so she can't get debuffed on the first turn. Mine, I'll show you the runes real quick. I've got this on speed, defense, and HP. That's pretty much the recommended build. The stats that you want to look for on her include speed, defense, HP, crit rate, accuracy, resistance. So she is pretty stat heavy. She wants everything but crit damage and attack. It can be hard, but if you don't want to, you don't need to worry about crit rate and accuracy, or really even resistance if you don't want to, but you definitely want to worry about speed, HP, defense, because just Rune is a standard support, and she will do her job pretty well. Where is she useful in? She's really good in your first Giants B10 teams, your Dragons B10 teams, a lot of TOA stages, Hall of Heroes, as well as situationally good in Guild Wars. Whether you want more speed, more HP, defense, whatnot, it would depend on where you're planning on using her. If you're using her in Giants, she doesn't need to be the fastest in the world, but if you're using her in Guild Wars, you need her to be faster than your damage dealer, or you want her to be pretty fast at least, so she can get the immunity up really quick. Depending on what you're using her for would affect what kind of runes you would want to give her. Is she worth the 6-star? To make it quick, I definitely think she is worth a 6-star. Outside of the Nat 5 immunity monsters and cleansers, I would say Delphoi is the best immunity option in the game. She doesn't have a lot of competition in the Nat 4 and below categories. In terms of Nat 5, she has to compete with Wusa and Veladjul. Definitely not nearly as good as Delphoi. So I definitely would say she's worth 6-starring, unless maybe if you have a Veladjul, you don't need to. She does a different role than Wusa, because a Wusa will just give the immunity. She will cleanse and give immunity. So that's why I think that it's good to have Delphoi even if you have a Wusa. Yeah, she's pretty useful. I recently made a video. I'm not sure if it's going to be uploaded before or after this one, unfortunately. But I recently made a video that was a Giants B10 team with Delphoi. So if that is what's going to interest you, be sure to check that out. So I'm not going to leave the link in the description. I'm not going to say that because I always forget that. But if you do want to check it out, just check out my channel, and it should have been posted earlier this week, or it's going to be posted later this week, depending on when you're watching it and which upload I do first. But you might see her in some of my Guild War videos in the future. I might make a whole Guild War video about her, actually. I don't want to drag this on for too long. I think I was able to go over what she's good at and what she's useful for, and I think I reviewed her pretty well and pretty quick. But so with that being said, that's really all I have for today though, guys. Any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to tell me in the comments. If there's any other videos you want to see, also tell me in the comments. But yeah, that's really all I have for today though, guys. So may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.